welcome to session 121 of our Mandelbulb 3D Tutorial Series, focusing on an animation project. Well, we're coming up on the completion of a low-resolution preview of our roll. All right, not the entire animation, but just the animation sequence of our 360-degree barrel roll. Okay, and I've updated the documentation here while I was waiting. And usually I find this is when I check it over, make sure I've got everything right. You can scrub through your keyframes, even though it's creating the preview, and check everything out, make sure you're okay. So I haven't seen this preview yet, so what's coming up here, you and I are seeing it for the first time. All right, so now this is, what this is doing is it's rendering 11, which is the keyframe just before we start the roll, so I get the full 360-degree roll. Now keep in mind, okay, here we go. Oh my goodness, I didn't go forward. Okay. So, looking at my documentation, I intended to go forward, but I did not. All right, so my oversight. Now, this is a good opportunity. This is a good opportunity to talk about another little, shall we say, limitation with the Mandelbulb 3D software. And there's a couple ways to be able to get around this. A couple ways. Now you notice here that I neglected to actually punch the button here to give me a walk forward as well as the roll. What I did is I did the roll, and then I did the F key, and bang, 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 and I have no forward motion. So my bad. But it does give us an opportunity to talk about a little trick that you can play. Now you can do a couple things. You could very easily, I'm pointing to my Stream Deck over there on the other side of the screen. You could very easily go into your Stream Deck configuration, and you can take one of these empty buttons here, and you can program that up to be a W key hit 3 times, and the RC key, which is the O key, 1 time. So it's often referred to as a macro. All right, and you can have a macro, and you could probably do this with other pieces of software too, but it's a little tricky because you need to have focus on the navigation window. So another piece of software would take the focus off of the navigation window, and then those keystrokes would go somewhere else. So the tricky part of this is that if you have a device, and it could be a Stream Deck, and there's other USB devices where you can program them with one button, you can program them, in this case, to hit the W key, which is forward, the W key 3 times, and then the rolling 1 time, and while you're at it, to press the F key. So if you're in a situation where you have a lot of repetitive keyframes, you could use a device like that and program it up and just punch the button. Boom, 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 boom. 36 times, whatever you want, okay? Now, in my case, I didn't do that. I only did the roll, I didn't do the forward. So what I'm going to have to do is throw these keyframes away, because there is no way to fix the keyframe in terms of its movements. Okay, I can do that with I could fix lighting and coloring and quality, but it's easy enough just for me to throw the whole thing away. All right, and repunch in these. What did we do? We did 18. Yeah, we did 18 keyframes. All right, now, but since we're here and we have a preview of the 360 barrel roll, we might as well use this opportunity to check out if our roll is okay. We're not moving forward, but is our roll okay? Now, taking a look at that, not bad, not bad. Now, what's happening is that, as you recall, we have 20 degrees between each keyframe. And what Mandelbulb is doing for us is it's interpolating the keyframes in between. So the Mandelbulb3D software is doing a nice job in interpolating the subframes that go in between our keyframes, okay? And it's doing a nice job. I'm getting a smooth roll. Now what that tells me, or suggests to me, that I might be able to actually have a higher degree of roll. All right, I might be able to make that a 45 degree roll, and then let Mandelbulb figure out the subframes in between the 45 roll keyframes. Oop. And it probably would work, in which case I could get this down to just 4 keyframes. 4? Yeah, 8 keyframes, okay? What I tend to do is I tend to go for more keyframes because I like more smoothness, more detail. I like more frames, subframes in between, because when I put it in my video editor, the more subframes you have, the smoother it is. All right, and so as you can see here, all right, let's take keyframe 11. All right, 11 to 12. So here's my see the roll there. I have 100 subframes between each angle, and that's showing me that's a pretty good roll speed. That's not bad at all. If I put 500 in there, I'd zip around. I don't want to do that. All right, so what I need to do is I need to punch the proper steps. I'm just going to do it manually. I could program up a device to do this, and you can get these USB devices where you can program them. In some cases, you can even program your keyboard. All right, but the trick is software to implement keystrokes usually doesn't work because you have to have focus on the navigation pane window in order for Mandelbulb to receive those keystrokes and know what to do with them. All right, so this shows me that my roll is pretty cool. I just don't have any forward motion. All right, so that's what we're going to do next. So we're going to end this session. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to do the preview again, and when we come back, we'll take a look at a better implementation of my keyframes. We're just going to exit this, and I'm going to throw away keyframes 12 through 30. All right, I'm going to throw these. Yeah, this is where, okay, good. Let's make sure now. All right, that 11 through 12, good. That was my big move. Remember my big fat move there? Okay. And that's the only indication I have of that's where I made a long forward other than my documentation. All right. So let's throw away keyframes 12 through 30. I don't need to save it because this is where I started before. All right, I'll see you in the back in the next session. Well, I'll have fixed this for you, and I'll have a preview running. I'll see you there.